Hey, this episode is brought to you by Wolfpack Gear built for on the move. They have duffel bags, backpacks, meal prep bags. Wolfpack keeps you ready for your day, the traveling, gym training, everything in between. Tap in here at I'm putting it in the description. Shop Wolfpack and use our promo code POF Pod and save 10% today. Tap in. Mwah. Welcome to the Power Friendship Podcast. I'm your host, Sailor Gates. Today is a special day. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm MJ Bassett. I'm the director and one of the producers and a writer of the Red Sonja movie, which is coming out, I don't know, sometime soon, a couple of weeks, depending where you are in the world.
Yes, I am excited about Time, my favorite character. I was getting some love.
Well, you said it was your favorite character. I want to know why. You said it was about your mother. Tell me.
Okay, so when I was younger, I watched Conan the Barbarian. Okay. And I was like, Mom.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger, John Milius one, right?
Yeah. So I said, okay, Mom, who's the girl with the sword? And it was from on and on. She was badass, tough, all this type stuff. And then I started reading comics. And I was like, oh, it's Red Sonja. That's dope. So I started reading comics maybe 20 or 30 years ago. And I haven't dropped Red Sonja ever. So I've been reading Red Sonja.
For real? So you read all the way the Marvel stuff, all the Dynamite stuff?
I'm kind of all the way with the crossovers and everything. So I'm kind of cool. But I always wonder
oh, you're an expert. You know more than me.
I was just wondering why there's not a Red Sonja movie ever. This is the craziest character I've ever seen. I don't know why.
I mean, I can tell you why there wasn't a Red Sonja movie.
Oh.
Do you want to know why? I can tell you why.
Yes. Because
the rights, it's nothing to do with the characters. It's to do with how the movie business works. It's just the bullshit. Can I swear on this podcast, by the way?
Oh, fair enough. Fuck you want to say. Let's go.
Okay, good. It's just the bullshit of the movie business. So this version of Red Sonja has been in development, as far as I know, 17 years.
Yes.
Okay, give or take, right? Prior to that, so they made 1984 or whatever it was with Bridget Nielsen and Arnold. And he wasn't playing Conan in that movie. Everybody forgets. They think it was Bridget and Conan. It's not. He was named a different character because they couldn't get the rights to it. And I may tell you a little story about this version of the movie, but not right now. Which almost had Arnold in it. Just so close. It didn't work out. But there we go. That's life. Because I really, really thought Arnold doing a cameo would be my holy grail. Get Bridget in, get Arnold in, and just have a little cameo. Didn't work. Anyway, so for 17 years, this thing has been in development with a bunch of directors. Robert Rodriguez was going to do it with Rose McGowan. Yeah, and that would have been really interesting, but not my kind of movie. But that, Robert does his own way, much more comic book, much more graphic novel, right? That would have been his vibe. And then I think Bryan Singer was attached. Brian's a bit, dodgy. We don't really talk about him. And then there was other directors, and then Joey Soloway was attached. And then over the course of the years, I've been talking to the studios, a company called Millennium, who make The Expendables and Hitman's Bodyguard and all the Has Fallen movies. And they did the last Conan picture as well. So they live in this world of genre. And I'd written a movie which they were thinking about financing, and we talked backwards and forwards, and really wanted to do Sonja and had done for years since, well, I mean, obviously I made Solomon Kane, which is Robert E. Howard character. I did that about 12 years ago, longer. And after I made that movie, which is a kind of heroic sword and sorcery picture, people said, "Would you want to do Conan next?" Not like it's an offer, but it was that question "Whoa, you must want to do Conan." I said, "I don't want to do Conan. I want to do Sonja." And they never understood why I wanted to do Sonja because I hadn't come out as trans then, right? So they'd "Hey, you must want to do Conan. He's the dude." It's no, I want to do the tough girl, right? But also, I never really liked I love Bridget Nielsen. Becomes friends with, and I love her and Arnold. I become friends with Arnold. But I think I didn't like the Red Sonja movies in the 80s. But I didn't like I grew up on those fantasy movies in the 80s. I didn't really like them because my fantasy is a really grounded world in my head, right? It's worlds that make sense with characters that make sense. And a lot of the sword and sorcery stuff is very campy. And even though I'm trans, I'm not a campy person at all. Certainly not in my everyday life I am, but in my movies I'm pretty grounded and blow shit up and chop heads off and stuff. So when I felt that the Millennium were sort of feeling cold on their current package of director and writer and what have you, I was meeting with them and I just said, "Just give me Sonja." Just give it to me. I'm the most qualified person you're going to meet. I'm a fan. You're a super fan, but I'm like a fan of the character. I want to do something with her. I know how to make these movies. I know how to make them for a price because it's not a big budget picture. It's a really small budget picture, but it's got to look big.
I love it.
And live
I
in
love
that
the look of it.
space.
I love the look of it.
It does. It's a great looking movie, but it's that sense of I just knew what I wanted to do with her. Now it may not be your version of her. It really might not be. If you're a fan, you'll have your own idea of what she should be, and I have my idea. But what I love about her and all her iterations over the years in the comic book form, and listen, the version she started off as in the 1935 novella by Robert E. Howard, she's not a barbarian woman in the Hyborian world. She's fighting the Ottomans in Russian civil war. So it's crazy. And then in 1974, she becomes this comic book character, which they just dump into Hyboria and make a contemporary of Conan and all those characters. I mean, goodness me, she fights Wolverine at some point, right?
Yeah, she fights
all these cross, she fights everybody. She's just a cipher for whatever the writers want her to be. Right? She's gotten, and some stories she's a product of rape and sexual violence, which I want nothing to do with. That's not why women become strong, in my opinion. And I just thought, I know who my Sonja is. If you made the movie, your Sonja would be different. And you may watch my movie and just go, sucks donkey balls. That's not what I would have done. You might, but it's okay if you do.
Yeah. I like, because movies, Red Sonja's like every iteration. That's like my one character. I'm like, damn, I dig that. I like when like stuff changes and stuff like that. I love that you can do something different. Like I saw like a lot of stuff when you're in the trailer. I was like, yes, and I just like.
No, she does all those things. The one thing I've done really different, well, not really differently, but one thing I did do with her, the story is a story to story. She's a woman who lives in the wilderness alone for whatever reason we find out in the story, and she just kind of wants family because she doesn't like being alone anymore. And she's tough and she's capable, and she gets captured by the bad guy and has to sort of, that's all par for the course in these kinds of stories, right? And I inherited the script. And I wanted to make it mine, so I took out stuff I didn't like and I kept things that I did. But what I really wanted to do was make her not just a badass. We all know she's a badass with a sword. I wanted to make her somebody who had compassion for the world around her. And that even in moments of violence, she's not doing it willingly. She's doing it because, and in the face of the bad guy. So it's like when you watch the movie, there are moments in it where you go, oh, she should be killing somebody now, but she's choosing not to. And because I believe the world needs compassion and needs understanding, and she defends the natural world. So the other thing I'm incredibly proud of is the fact that Sonja is a woman is not relevant in this movie. Right? Nobody talks about her being a woman. Nobody. Doesn't matter. There are good guys and bad guys, humans across the board. And again, that's a product of who I am as a person. And some versions of the script were absolutely about she's a woman and there are men and women are good and men are bad. And I was like, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in saving the world. And that's what she does. And she does it through violence and she does it through compassion.
That's awesome. That's so good. Yes, that was beautiful.
Well, we'll see, right? Maybe nobody likes that. They may think I've done something sucky, but you can only make a film that you care, because it takes so long to make these bloody movies. So if I've given several years of my life to this, I really wanted to do it. And it's been making the movie was amazing. Finishing the film was painful for all kinds of reasons. But we got here, and it's going to be released, and it's not going to be a big release, but it will be released, and then it'll go straight to, premium video on demand or whatever they do with movies these days. I don't even care about that. I don't follow that. I want to make the film. Here, business people, here's a film. Go and make money off it if you want to. I can't get involved in that side of the business. I just want to tell the stories and work with the actors and be on set and make a really practical film as well. That's the other thing. It's like there's obviously visual effects because this is that kind of movie, but the fire is real fire and the rain is real rain and the shit is real shit. Like I make a movie which is grounded. Cyclops is obviously a CG Cyclops.
Yeah, I know, but it still was beautiful. It's still pretty.
But I'm not Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's making a Cyclops. Apparently it's a fully practical giant puppet, which is amazing. But I wanted to do. The Cyclops in Sonja for me is a tribute to a filmmaker called Ray Harryhausen. I don't know if you know who he was. So he was the guy who perfected stop frame animation for monsters in the sort of 50s and 60s. So he did.
Oh my God.
Jason and the Argonauts, and Jack the Giant Killer and King Kong. It's all that technique.
Okay.
So the Cyclops is supposed to is a nod to that kind of sort of film. I mean, still CG, obviously, but it was like that was what I was trying to go for. That's why there's a Cyclops in the movie, because I was obsessed with Jason and the Argonauts and Jack the Giant Killer and those kinds of movies. And for when all the budget got cut and everything got thrown out and there was no more CG, it's like, nope, I'm keeping the Cyclops.
I love it.
Cyclops survived.
Yeah, Silence with Cyclops. I'm so excited. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I'm pumped.
Good.
I'm just like, because I've been like, yo, it's coming, bro. They're like, yo, Ted, where's that? I'm like, yo, it's coming. It's coming.
August 13th, I think.
Yes, August 13th. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I will be there. See somewhere. I will be there.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, you know, the weird thing is, I've never seen this happen. But it's like a one-night engagement across America. So it's like you got to find your ticket and go and see it, and then it's done.
Yeah.
And then you got to get it on video on demand.
I love it.
But I don't know why they're doing that. I don't like it. It just is what it is.
I got you. What was it like casting? How was it casting? Like, how's that part? Like, how's that going?
Well, it's interesting, you know, because obviously it's a very specific piece of casting, Red Sonja, right? And if you get dragged into what the comic books want, right, just that pure visual thing, you're going to end up with a sports fitness model, right? There's nothing wrong with it. And I auditioned some women who were physically incredibly capable and buff and beautiful. Goodness me, beautiful and all those things. But really, this is a movie, not a comic, right? I'm not looking for some sort of ultra pneumatic, busty, statuesque. I mean, all those things are great. And I don't take that away from any of the women who came in. And I was looking for something, again, it was that compassion, it was that humanity, it was the humor, it was the vulnerability, because there's no point having her just be obviously capable all the time, right? There's no drama in that. There's no story in that. I needed somebody who could have all the ferocity and capacity for violence that she needs, and at the same time be broken and just be vulnerable and weak sometimes, because that becomes interesting from a character point of view. So I saw dozens and dozens of women, and then Matilda Lutz's name was mentioned to me because she made a movie called Revenge, which is an amazing piece of work.
It's a banger.
Yeah, which directed by the woman who went on to do The Substance with Demi Moore. So
another banger.
Great film, another banger. And Matilda, if you've seen Revenge, and if you haven't, you should go and see it, right, is amazing. I mean, again, it's a woman who's empowered by the product of sexual violence, which I don't like, but what she does with it.
Yeah,
it's different. There was there's a movie in the 70s called I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Which is one of those kind of banned video in the UK. They're called video nasties. They were banned exploitation pictures, and you couldn't get them. I mean, I got them because you knew who to talk to. But you go and see these, like Wes Craven's Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave, Hills of Eyes. There was just a run of those very violent pictures, revenge pictures. Texas Chainsaw was but I Spit on Your Grave and Revenge, sort of kindred spirits. And anyway, Matilda in that is unbelievably good.
Yeah, it's
so somebody pointed me to her.
Oh, it goes above and beyond. It's above and beyond. I love it.
Oh, really, really, truly. So I saw her and I went, oh, not only she's a beautiful, lovely person, lovely human being. She's a mother, so she has kind of this maternal instinct. I told her, I said, Matilda, I make really physical movies. You're going to get, knocked down, bruised, cut. This is not a movie where can I have the stunt person step in for me? Right? That's just how I go about my business. But I'd never ask you to do anything I wouldn't do myself. So that's a benchmark for me. And I've done that on all my movies. And she proved every bit as tough and capable. And she trained the horse riding and the sword fighting and all the stuff that she needed to do. And she is, not to diminish the work of the stunt crew, who are amazing. And they did do some of the work, but there was nothing Matilda wouldn't try. And she brings that, and there are moments, she plays opposite a guy called Robert Sheehan, who's an Irish actor from the Umbrella Academy. And a bunch of other stuff. He's an incredible actor. And he plays the villain, right? Now, he's not playing the villain as a villain. He's playing the villain as a human being who has an agenda and believes himself to be correct. And is doing some cruel things in the process, but believes he's helping progress. and she doesn't, and they have this terrible conflict. But the two of them together are amazing, just amazing, because he brings something out in Matilda because of his level of skill, right? So everybody, when Rob Sheehan walked on the set, we all raised our games because he's just so fine. And, he would do, he'd take the script bits that I'd written and that Tasha had written, but with the script that we'd written, and he would just go off on a completely different direction sometimes, which in TV, when I direct a lot of television as well, you're really not allowed to do because it's like, here's the script. But when I'm running a feature and I'm the producer as well as the director, it's like, let's see where this goes, right? The joy of having an actor just take you somewhere different or new or unexpected. Sometimes it was just like, well, we're not putting that in the movie, Rob, right? What were you thinking? But sometimes you just go, oh my God, you found a level, you found a thing that even I didn't understand in my film, right? And remember, this is inside a silly sword and sorcery film, right? And it stops being a silly sword and sorcery movie and starts to become something else entirely. When you've got Matilda and you've got Rob and the rest of the cast, you go, all right, let's see what we got. It was amazing.
It's beautiful. I'm so excited. What is your favorite part about directing?
Goodness me. I love being on the set. Prep is important and post is important and all the other bits. There's no bit that isn't vital to the process of trying to make a good movie. But I love being on a set. I love it when it's a challenging day. So there's a sequence, and again, because I make practical movies, so
yeah, that's
we're
what
really,
I love that. I love that so much.
It's really raining, right? It's really snow machines putting snow everywhere. It's really wind machines. It's really dusty and shitty and horrible because it gives the actors a performance, right?
Yeah.
Now, listen, there was when we were doing the Cyclops in this big Roman arena kind of thing, I was running around with a 20-foot pole with a tennis ball on the end and as the head and another pole, 15-foot pole with a tennis ball in which was an arm. And I'm running around going, okay, the Cyclops is coming and it's going to reach for you and you have to duck. And so I was narrating the whole thing whilst guys with cameras were running around and whilst the wind machines were going and while the gladiators were there with their swords. I didn't call them gladiators. I called them the damnati, but they were like the damned warriors. So that's fantastic fun. It's just the best fun. So any moment where we have a bunch of cast doing real things and it's difficult, that's the good stuff.
That's like I took a movie class, so I did ADR.
Yeah.
And then we shot a movie like in my house with like a bunch of people, and like we did a script. Like it was like, so we made a script. It was like called The Prodigal Son. Never forget it. So we went to we gave a script first, and it got to like 10 other people, and they completely changes everything.
Yes.
And then I was like, wait, okay, this is crazy. And then we had to go scout our neighborhood to like take pictures and stuff like that. I was like, this is fun. And I held the boom mic.
Yeah.
That was rough.
But this is the hanging on the boom. But this is the process. This is the process.
Yeah.
I started in making my own short films and low budget films. And I'm still making relatively low budget movies. I've never done studio pictures. I've done big television, and my movies are what they are. I like the fact of being heavily involved in everything. It's the fun thing. It's like it's the best train set in the world. I literally on one of my TV shows, I had a train. I've had a real train to play with.
Yeah? That's so cool.
I had 17 miles of track and a real train. And somebody said to me, well, what do you want this train to be made of? And I went, well, I need an engine at the front and an engine at the back. I want it to be transporting some cars because I wanted to do cars exploding as the train was going along. I need this. So I built a real train out of just like, can I have this bit? And they go, yeah, you can have, 10 carriages and they can be all these stuff. But I need some passengers. I said, can I land a helicopter on the train as it's moving? Because I want to deploy some soldiers. And they're like, okay, we can figure that out. And then I want to smash the train through a farm truck carrying fertilizer so I can have a huge explosion at the end. And okay.
I love everything you just said.
Luckily, I was the executive producer of that show. So I had my budget people saying, if you do all of this, you can't afford any of the other stuff you want. So what do you want to do? And I went, I want to do this, please. So this was a show I did called Strike Back, which is just a big action TV show, which I ran for a few seasons. And we did crazy things, all practical. Every explosion was real. We're still using blank weapons on the set. We're still doing all that, still really smashing cars. And I love that. I don't want to do the modern standing on a volume stage with projected backgrounds.
It looks crazy. I'm like, oh no, I
don't want to do it.
It looks so weird. I said, no.
I know it's the job. I mean, I know that's the job now, but I don't want to just like I was asked if I'd be interested in meeting the Star Wars people. It wasn't like I said, but it's like go meet them and talk about, I don't know what am I gonna do with that? Right? Go to it. It's like an office job. You go to the studio and there's a big volume of either blue screen or rear projection, and everybody stands around in front of it pretending. It's like, now let's go and jump in a river and fall off a cliff and do all that kind of shit.
That's awesome.
That's so my plan.
Cool. All right. If there was a movie about your life, who would you have directed? Who would you have directed? I gotta know.
Well, okay, that's a really tricky question. So, is the secret question under the question, who is my favorite director, or who would I have direct my movie? Because there's actually two questions. There's a director who I think would be good at the job.
Okay. I would love to hear both.
That's a sneaky question because it's got two questions in it. So, if I was going to have somebody direct the movie of my life, I would have Danny Boyle do the movie of my life.
Oh, I just watched 28 years later.
I think that guy is the best living British director. Right?
That you might be able to something. You want to something?
Yeah.
You want to something?
There's lots of problems with 28 years later, but it's still my movie of the year. I think it's extraordinary. I fucking hate the ending. I hate the ending of 28 years later.
The ending was crazy. I said
crazy. It's a different movie. I have no idea what he was thinking. But there are images and ideas in 28 years later which are just extraordinary.
Beautiful.
Not for everybody. That's fine. Now, if you're asking me who my favorite director is, that's different. So I would love to see David Fincher do my life story, right? And I would take Ridley Scott do my life story just because I know I would look beautiful all the time.
I love it.
But he would have to have a really good script because if he has a bad script, he makes a bad movie.
You spit bars. Yeah, okay.
But also then you got, how about, what would Catherine Bigelow do with the story of my life, right? Because she's good at blowing shit up and also understands the feminine. And my story is an interesting story, obviously because I'm trans, so there's all that bit of thing, there's all that relationshipy shit and family stuff to deal with. So, but I think Danny Boyle would do it.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Make me proud.
Who plays you? Who plays you in the movie?
Well, it would have to be a trans actress, so Jamie Clayton.
Oh, okay. I know who that is. Okay.
Jamie Clayton was in Sense8. Well, you probably don't know a lot of trans actresses. That's what I'd add.
I know like some. I know some.
Jamie was in. Well, I mean, Hunter is too young to play me.
Yeah.
Jamie was in a show called Sense8 for the. I mean, I should say Lana Wachowski should direct the story of my life, but I don't think Lana and I've never met Lana, but I don't know if we'd get on.
But yeah,
it's like if I'm going to do, I'm going to do my own story of my life. For goodness' sake.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would love to see that. That'd be cool.
No, you'd be very cool.
Oh, what? Nah, I like movies. That'd be wild to see a director like their own life.
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about me.
I want to see the MJ cinematic universe.
No, the MJ cinematic. Okay, all right, I'm okay with that.
Nobody has done it yet. I don't know. I think
there might be a reason for that. There might be a reason for that.
But it might be. You never know. The MCU took off, but like we've never seen like nobody's ever.
The MJCU.
Yeah, or somebody's life projectly play out as a kid, as a youngster growing up, like what their life was like. We never seen that like yet. We haven't seen it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm the person to start that experiment with. Not unless I suddenly do something incredibly interesting in the last few years of my career. Like, and I go and win an Oscar and it's amazing, and they want to look back and go, "Oh, what an extraordinary life this person's led." No, not me.
Okay. What are 5 films everybody should watch in their life before they die?
Well, that's a mean question. You should have asked me this before. Well, again, should watch or my favorites.
You know what? Just should watch for just for growth.
For growth. Oh my goodness. Well, then you've got to get into the whole, Battleship Potemkin and stuff like that, because you want to look about the growth, the growth of cinema itself. Which then you got to start saying, oh, you really should watch some Kubrick movies, and I don't like Stanley Kubrick films very much. So it's like, am I giving you a film studies course, or just saying, hey, I really love these movies? So I would go Blade Runner.
Okay.
Because Blade Runner is my favorite movie of all time.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one.
But it's also, I want the director's cut, but I want the original voiceover.
Okay.
Which is quite controversial.
Okay.
But I also know that myself and Guillermo del Toro feel the same way. I don't know how well you know the movie Blade Runner. So the reason I became a filmmaker is Alien.
Yes.
I was utterly obsessed with Alien as a kid. I was way too young to see it, but I got it on. I finally managed to watch it on VHS, and then I sort of, obviously VHS back in the day was panned and scanned. It was like the 4:3 TV frame, and then suddenly years later I saw the full movie, the proper 1:8:5. I don't know what format, what ratio it's in. 2:3:5. I think it's 2:3:5. The full scope ratio. You go, oh my god, there's a whole extra bits of movie I've never seen. So there's that. So that. I mean, God no, I can't do that. I mean, I think 7 is genius. I think Fincher is incredible. Would I have you watch 7 or Fight Club? I'd probably have you watch Fight Club over 7.
Okay.
And there's like a movie called The Man Who Would Be King, which is a John Huston movie with Sean Connery and Michael Caine, which I adore. I loved there's an old actor called David Niven, who's an old British actor, who was in a movie called The Bishop's Wife, which I think was remade. It was Cary Grant and David Niven. I remember watching this as a kid. And it's one of those It's a Wonderful Life kind of movies. The circles in black and white all the time. So it's too tough a question. And it's also, the question is badly framed, because it's really, am I doing a film studies course, or am I telling you my favorite movies? Because they're two different things.
I love it. You answered it perfectly. I just want people to watch more movies, man. Movies are the greatest thing.
We need that. I mean, what's your movie of the year then? What's your favorite film this year?
I think 28 Years Later is my favorite so far. I like, because it's kind of, I thought it was going to be a zombie movie, and it was
it's doing a different thing.
It's twisted. It made me think about this kid's learning about it. It's all this stuff that I was watching the frames of the movie. And I'm just yo, this is crazy. And seeing the shots.
It's an amazing piece of filmmaking. When that alpha, well, I'm not calling them zombies, but whatever, the alpha rage creature is chasing the boy and the dad across the causeway back to the island, and you see the Milky Way in the sky.
It's so beautiful.
It's just stunning. It's stunning.
I'm whoa. Because I went straight back. I went straight back in the theater. I'm I'm running back. I've never.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I had to. Because I was what the fuck is going on? Because my mind was I was tingling and everything. I was okay, I like this movie a lot.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, I try and catch up with most of the big movies that get released. So I went to see the Fantastic Four yesterday, and it's okay, fine.
Yeah.
I do want to be challenged. I don't mind. I don't mind what it is. I just don't want something in the middle.
Right. I get you. Yeah. I feel like
that's what you get with the summer blockbuster, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I work in the business. I understand this business.
Huh?
I recognize if you're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars just to make it, and then hundreds of millions to sell it to people, you need to get the biggest audience. There's no point making, 28 years later didn't cost a lot. So it's okay that it did challenging things. Yeah. From a filmmaker who is very prepared to challenge you. I mean, Danny Boyle has made, you think this is the guy who made Slumdog Millionaire. This is the guy who made Trainspotting. This is the guy who made, his ability to just go through genre.
Beautiful.
He's very much like an English filmmaker called Alan Parker, who was a contemporary of Ridley Scott in the 80s and 90s. They're part of this crowd of British filmmakers who came out of advertising. Yeah, Alan Parker. Right? So everybody says, Ridley is and Ridley Scott, obviously, and Tony Scott, his brother, and there was a bunch of them, but there was like Adrian Lyne, who made Fatal Attraction, Hugh Hudson, who did Chariots of Fire. And this is kind of the 80s wave of this they grew up in the 70s. They came of age in the 70s, made TV commercials. Ridley Scott made 1,000 television commercials before he directed a movie. He was 40 years old when he made his first movie, The Duelist, right? And then obviously he's now made The Last Duel as well. So he's got so Alan Parker was a guy who could make any genre of film. So he made Angel Heart. He made Birdie. He made Mississippi Burning. He made all these movies, right? And he never made one specific genre of picture. He could do anything. So weirdly, he was a filmmaker who had no identity in many ways. If you give me one frame of Ridley Scott, and I can tell you it's a Ridley Scott movie, right?
Okay,
just a still frame, and you go, that's Ridley. He shoots in a certain way, whereas Alan Parker shot in the way that the movie wanted itself to be made. You understand what I'm saying? It's like he served the movie. Whereas with Ridley, who I admire, he's one of the greatest film directors who's ever lived. He makes the movie serve him, right?
Okay.
So I think Alan Parker is massively underrated, and I would say that Danny Boyle is like Alan Parker. He is somebody who has incredible, boundless creativity, and he made 127 hours with James Franco about a guy with his arm trapped in a rock. And he made this, it was incredible. It was really interesting, and he understood how to do it. So I'm a fan. I'm nowhere near that talent, right? So that's why I think I admire Danny's, because I don't have, he has more talent in his little finger than I have, right? In my whole body. Whereas if I watch horror movies and action pictures, generally speaking, I go, I can do that. I know how to do that. I just want, you give me the same amount of money and I'll make a better movie, right? But sometimes I'll watch a movie and go, oh, it doesn't matter how much money you give me. And time, I'll never make that film. I don't have that vision. And those are the movies that turn me on. It's like when I watch the Coen brothers. I go, I don't know how to make those films. I could never make a Coen brothers movie. They're just like, oh, that's a sick. I watch No Country for Old Men. I'm like, that's good. How? How do you make that?
Yeah. Like, what the hell? How do you shoot that?
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Oh man, that's crazy.
So,
that's crazy.
There you go.
Yeah, I love this. We now turn it on to you. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions for me?
Oh, we sort of covered them. I mean, I wanted to know what movies you'd watched. Why do you do this podcast?
Because I want to make friends and I want to learn about life besides my own little bubble. So I grew up.
I respect that. Where are you in the world?
I'm in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
First state. We're the first state.
Completely.
That's it. So I grew up in like a church, prodigal pastor's son, grew up chosen one, youth group guy. And I was like, there's got to be more for me life out there. And in my path, mentor was like, just go out there. Don't assume anything. Ask questions and be concerned and show empathy for everyone. So I was kind of like, okay, I can do that. Easy. So, but then I have friends that were gay, straight, trans, and I never knew anything about that. And they were like, oh, you know what? I should just step outside my comfort zone and be respectful. Say, hey, you okay? Didn't ask them about this, stuff like that. But I always want to hear from people's like mouths of how they feel about their life and stuff like that. But I always want to make
that. Yeah. God, I love that, darling.
Yeah, so I kind of like, I was always like, because I love making friends with people. And I'm like, oh, because trans people are like, I want to, like, you guys should be loved and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, like, and I have like people that hate, like why? Like, you just want to be yourself.
Yeah, but people hate because they're scared.
Yeah. And
hate and fear are just on the same continuum.
I agree. But I think it's beautiful that you guys want to be yourselves. It's beautiful that you want to be you.
There's no choice. I mean, this is the thing. People think that being trans is a choice in the sense that, like, it's my choice to decide to look this way and live as me physically.
Yeah.
But I didn't choose to feel the way I felt about myself. I would much rather have not felt that way, and my life would have been easier. Right? So this is what the thing is. This is the mistake that, I mean, and some people want to just cross dress and do what I want for sexy reasons. Yeah. And like, you have your fetish, have your kink. I don't care, right? My thing was, I couldn't live in the body that I'd got because for some reason, and I don't know why, chemical, biological, genetic, whatever you can, I just thought, I just don't feel like me. Right? And it's a long life. It's a long life, and I've lived a lot of it as another person. And at some point, you go, I can't go on. The road runs out. I'm sick of waking up every day feeling happy and hating myself. Right? Because also it makes you toxic to everybody around you because it's like, oh, I hate myself, therefore I'm going to be angry at you. And I was a tricky person to live with. And I'm amazingly lucky in that I've been married for 32 years and to the same woman, and she stayed with me, and I had kids, and they still love me. And it's that sense of, well, compassion and understanding. And even though I lived in America for 8 years in California until about a month ago, and I came back to England. Because it's like I can't deal with what's going on in America and not have a voice with my big problem.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, I'll come back to the UK, which has its own problems. Is not going to pretend that we don't have our own social issues.
Yeah.
But I have rights here, and I can say how I feel, and I'm not going to be kicked out of the country, right? Because it's mine. And I think this is the thing: is I can say, and I don't want a big fight with J.K. Rowling about trans issues. I want her to understand the damage she's doing to a community of people who have no voice. I'm a filmmaker, so we're talking. So I have a voice just by the fact that you and I are having a conversation, right? And then tomorrow I'm going to do a bunch of other interviews for Red Sonja, and maybe we'll touch on trans issues or not. The best I can do is just be me, right? And it's not really about, I don't want to talk about trans stuff, but in a way that I didn't want Red Sonja to be about gender. I just wanted it to be about a person trying to do the right thing. And chopping a few heads off as well. Obviously, I'm doing head chopping and shit, right? Yeah. Gotta do the head chopping. But you know what I mean? It's like, and it's what I love is that from your story is that you could have gone down an incredibly conservative, narrow-minded route, but you chose to say, well, what's out there in the world? Now, I've traveled the whole planet, right? I'm so lucky in the film business. I get to go to all these amazing countries. I've been to New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa, and North Africa, and Kenya. And I've shot in Jordan, I've shot in Morocco, and I've shot in Budapest, and I've shot in, like everywhere you can think of. And I've seen places where it's illegal to be me. But at the same time, that's some government saying it's illegal to be you. But I've never met a person, an individual who has said that, who has given me anything other than kindness, because I try and give that in return. So I think people are pretty good. I think groups and politics are horrific.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah. I just want to make friends and love everybody. That's all I want. I don't want much, man.
Well, you'd think it wouldn't be much, right? You'd think that would be an easy thing to achieve, right? And I would say, if you have a different politics to me, fine, have a different politics. I don't care, but don't deny. I don't want to deny you anything.
Yeah.
Why do you want to deny me something? And I'm not very comfortable that ancient texts are the way for us to live our lives. Right? I don't want to be touching a third rail here.
I love it. Not the ancient text.
It just feels a little bit like we need to be more responsible for the now and what we're doing to the world. I'm an environmentalist, so I started as a wildlife filmmaker, and I wanted to be a wildlife vet, and that was my big passion. So I'm much more concerned about the fact that we're killing the planet.
Oh my God!
Than any other issue, because to kill the planet, we got nothing.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
All our trivial little lives will be meaningless because the engine of keeping life going on this world will run to nothing, and then we're done.
Oh my God! You told James Gunn you should make a Poison Ivy movie. You should.
And that's you know what?
I'm just saying. You just said what her thing was. That's her thing. She's not really. I don't think she's a villain. She's not about to. She just wants to, plants her. She's right. She's right.
Listen, I was thinking about this the other day. Almost all the you know more about this than me, but almost all the superheroes I can think of are scientists or creators in some way. They can think of a thing that they've done something amazing. They've pushed the boundaries of human existence, and then they've come back and done something, right? So Bruce Banner's a brilliant scientist, and Reed Richards is an amazing scientist, and even Superman is like somebody who's trying to find the truth in the world, right? And all the villains are business people and politicians. who are greedy and venal. You find me the only one I felt was possibly a bit villainous was Iron Man to begin with, right? Because he was a weapons dealer and he wanted money, right? But he'd gone down the wrong route because his dad was trying to do the right thing, and then he'd gone the wrong way. And the great story of him through the Avengers is his ultimate sacrifice, right?
Yep.
He's prepared to kill him, to die for everybody. So it's a big, it's a very messianic journey. But we revere science. I mean, we revere science, even as people, as the politicians saying science is bad and we're going to cut the funding and we don't want research, we don't have cancer research, whatever fucking nonsense they're doing, right? So that the tech bros can become richer. The tech bros are the villains.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It never, not one is ever. And I'm a
lefty. Listen, I'm a lefty woke liberal. Blah. I am. I just who I am, right?
I despise Iron Man for reasons. I've always hated him.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta hit it on the nose. He does more than that. He sold Daredevil his site and then raised the price for his site. It was some crazy stuff he's done.
That's bad. That's some villain shit. That's some villain shit.
Yeah. He does some wild things. So I'm just it's kind of weird, but yeah.
Well, I'm only judging it based on the movies, not on the comics.
Yeah, so that's when you went there. When you said Iron Man first, that's the first one I was thinking about because he's kind of how Marvel turned him around. The movies made him more the movies have made him more like he's in the comics because the comics he's terrible human. So it's,
yeah.
So you think about it, you're wait a minute, this person's kind of crazy and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's so crazy because I was you nailed it. Another thing I was yeah, I have it. A lot of my favorite characters are Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy. I like those weird characters.
Yeah, I mean, see, listen, Swamp Thing, scientist.
Yeah, he was wilding.
Yeah.
But
this is the point. We're looking for people who are trying to do the right thing. Maybe they go the wrong route to do the right thing, but I don't know. I'm and million. Anybody who just wants money for the sake of money, that's really not good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's evil. This is so evil. Man, do you have any more questions for me before we wrap up?
I'm good, honey. I think we've had a great chat. I've really enjoyed this.
This has been the best day ever. I'm trying to freak out.
It really hasn't been the best day ever. It's been a pretty good 45 minutes, though.
Hey, listen, I got to talk about my favorite thing, Red Sonja movies, and the director of Red Sonja. I'm it can only go off from here. I gotta ask you, what are you watching? What are you reading? Are you reading anything? Are you
watching? Right now, this is interesting. Right now, last night I rewatched. What the hell was I? Oh my god, I'm getting old. What was I watching last night? Okay. Just to be very trivial, I'm rewatching all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
Just because it's comfort. At the moment, I'm trying to write, so I don't want anything which engages my brain in another way. I'm looking for. So I love Rick and Morty, so I'm watching the new season of Rick and Morty, which is great. It's not the best season, but there's also always interesting high points. I'm rewatching Smiley's People, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which is an old spy movie with Gary Oldman in the lead. And what else am I watching at the moment? I watch a lot of wildlife documentaries and science documentaries, so that's kind of my go-to whenever I'm doing anything. I'm rereading a book about the mythology and folklore of Great Britain as I'm reconnecting with the past and the history of my country, having been away for a while. And that's because the UK is Great Britain is an incredibly ancient country. Go back 10,000 years of history. Right, so you can trace all that. So there's all the mythology and the folklore and the King Arthurs and the Robin Hoods and all this stuff around that. So I love all that. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Science. I'm reading books on neurology and how the brain works, and then sort of history and science. No fiction at the moment.
Okay.
I haven't got anything good on the go there. Yeah, that's it.
I'll let the people know what you got going on and let them where they can find you.
I don't have anything going on. I'm on Instagram, MJ Bassett. I think you can type in MJ Bassett or EMJAY Bassett. I think I turn up either way. I have a website, mjbassett.com, and I don't really do any other social media.
Okay, cool. Also, go see Red Sonja, please. Go see that movie.
Go see it, download it, get it in some way. Don't do it on Pirate Bay just yet. We need some good numbers, so don't pirate it. Not for a little while.
Yeah. Not the 7 Seas. Don't 7 Seas yet.
Not yet.
3 years. 3 years. Okay.
Give me a little bit of time.
You can find me Sailor Games, TikTok, YouTube, at your mom's house. I'm everywhere. Hit the like button, share button, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. This has been the best.
You're very welcome. It's been a lovely chat. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.